Heat.
Alright, this is Dan House here, very nice, very evil. You are watching True Heel Heat. Probably should have had MJF do this, but here we are.
Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat, YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble, episode 103, Blood, Guts, and Love, reviewing the July 19th, 2023, Blood and Guts 3 edition of AEW Dynamite. And I am joined by the man of very close. Go over and subscribe if you haven't already. Very close to 50,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and AEW. He is Jimmy Macram.
Good Lord. There are plenty of them tonight or last night. And they all start with a V. And they end with vagina. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Thanks for spelling that out for us. How are you today, sir?
I'm relatively well. Been up for an hour today.
Wow! Whoa, that's a record for you. That's I give you credit. Stomping with the big dogs. I see you.
Adulting today. Absolutely. Grown up stuff.
Adulting. But yes, we are here to discuss AEW Dynamite, Blood and Guts. So sound off in the live chat. We are interactive YouTube channel here at the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel. So sound off in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you could send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters, and we will highlight it on screen. We will give you our thoughts. If you have a question for us, or have a thought, an opinion, a take on last night's AEW Dynamite, Blood and Guts, or anything AEW related, you can send that with a super chat donation, or you can hit hit the join button for just $1 a month and become a member of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And we will highlight as many of your comments as possible that way as well. And of course, we appreciate y'all for joining us for AEWramble Thursdays at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Show that appreciation back if you're with us live by dropping the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And if you're watching us on demand, we appreciate you as well. Drop that like and comment down below. But yes, let's talk AEW Dynamite. I think you're muted, sir.
Oh, my bad.
There you go.
So just change my start time to 1:12. I can at least get an extra 8 minutes of sleep.
It's only 5 minutes in. Like, what are we talking? We start at like 1:08, 1:07 because you only pop in like a second before 1:05.
What's the need? Fuck, I pop in, press the button. Let's go. I'm ready. I don't need any prep.
Come on. I know it's been a long time since you had like a retail job. Man, you need to talk to your coworkers for like a good 15, 20 minutes before you clock in.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
You never worked with Marcus Cash?
Yeah, I talked to him while I was on the clock. What am I showing early for? I come here till I get paid.
Usually what we do here. But yes, we're gonna highlight some comments here in the live chat. We got our good friend Jimmy G-Loke is in the chat. He says, what it do at True Hill Heat? Good afternoon. We also got Ricky who says, what's up, fellas? Only Dynamite review I watch. Oh,
goddamn right.
As you should. Hassan saying, let's do it. We got Safet in the chat with us. Roxy, who's been joining us consistently the last couple of weeks. We appreciate seeing you, Roxy. Good morning to you. I believe you're over on the West Coast if it's the morning time for you. We got Anika who says, all right, let's get it, because I know Jimmy has a thing or two to say about one segment in particular.
Fucking egregious. It's embarrassing. And I blame all of you, starting with SP3 and heading on down, who've allowed him to get away with this. Because look at the kicks, Young Bucks, flips. This is great. No, don't question him. And then when somebody stands up, who was it? I forgot the name. LJ? LJ? Was it LJ? Sure, let's go with that. He kicks her right in the cunt, and you all stand there and say nothing about it. Oh, I don't see nothing. You don't see nothing. And this is what you end up with. That's what you end up with, and you all deserve it, and all those women deserve it. Brit especially, because she was on the safe train. She was on the safe train. Her and Jade and Jamie, they're all safe, while the rest of these women got kicked right out the kitchen, and now she's with the rest of them. Now she's a bum just like the rest of them, and she's going to be shocked by her treatment from here on out. I'm sorry, he doesn't like you. He doesn't fuss with you, literally, and that's how it's going to go from here on out. I'm sorry. But don't blame me. I've been calling it from the beginning. Can nobody accuse me of that? I've been calling it from the jump.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Hill Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
We're not going to insinuate that Tony Khan does not have relations with women on this show.
I just meant he doesn't sleep. I meant he doesn't sleep with his employees. As you shouldn't. You should not sleep with your employees. That's all I was saying. This
is also true. This is also true. We got Ricky. He says if White People Dancing was a wrestler, he'd be Adam Cole, one of the best. Oh my God. Everything they did, everything they touched, it turned into gold last night. I loved it. Loved every second of it. We got Frantic World that says, what's up, SP3, Jimmy, and Chat. We also got Negro Buck with the plug for Jimmy's secondary channel, saying also subscribe to House of Macram for all of Jimmy's gaming content.
Look at you.
Look at that plug.
He shows up only to fucking promote. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you kindly. Yep. Is that Rhea Ripley? Absolutely. Best thing going. It is what it is. It's about time somebody in the back realized it. Holy shit. Maybe we should put on her TV more.
Like maybe we should give her a damn reverie, maybe.
Yeah, like what the? Jesus fuck. Anyway, I'm be nice. It's not in the WWE channel.
They don't know how to do anything on any of these companies. Only one doing stuff right is New Japan. I told y'all from the start. We got Roxy he says, Jimmy, did you watch Collision with the classic FTR and Bullet Club Gold? And please tell the people your rating for this matchup. Please let
4 2/3, I think.
That's not a thing.
Yes.
That's
4
not
points. I'm coming up with my own scale because
when you wrote that, I was just like, "Oh no, is he trolling?" No, but I was like, "Nah, he's probably not. He's probably not."
I was like, it's not as good as all my 4 3/4 matches, but it's better than all my 4.5 matches. Aha! 4 2/3.
4 2/3. And
Indeed.
You thought you could stop me? 4 2/3. We need to start
That was a great
naming our
match.
names. Naming the names of our show off of our banter. And this one would be 4 2/3.
Well, it's at 4.666 stars. I would if I could. I thought it was a great match. Jay White looked like a star. Matter of fact, he looked as if he was the best guy in the match, which makes sense. That's how that shit works. Juice looked like the worst, but he was significantly better than he was the week before, in which he botched 4 distinct times, and I heard nothing about it on the internet. Nobody said anything. He botched the monkey flip, he botched the chop, he botched the shadow machine. He just botched everything left and right, and nobody said anything because we like Juice.
Because the match was otherwise tremendous.
That's wild. That's wild. If you built a house other than these 4 mistakes I made, this is a beautiful house.
And that's why that's not 5 stars, and that's why this one was.
You give it 5 stars?
5 stars.
Oh my fucking
Instant
God.
classic.
Jesus
Instant
fucking
classic.
Christ.
In the pantheon of AEW great tag team matches.
I'm putting you right along. You're about to be right alongside Dave.
No,
not because of this. Not because of this take. Because this take is not egregious. This take is fine, I guess. I would never.
Yeah,
you know what taking is? It's Moxley and what is it? Moxley and
Ishii. A 4 1/4. That's not 4 1/4.
Just as good as Buddy and fucking Andrade. That is the most egregious take I've ever heard. That's up there with any Meltzer take. I'll never forget it. I'm gonna bring it up every get the chance.
We got Ricky who says I clock in and then talk. Talking about an earlier conversation. We also got Negro Buck who says facts, Jimmy, do it all on the clock. This is true. I'm not gonna act like I'm better than y'all.
Yeah, y'all get in trouble. Don't blame me though. I want no parts of it. Did you tell my coworkers they could? Huh?
I heard it on this YouTube channel. It's called True Hill Heat. But yes, we also got Roxy who says, yeah, the women's division is pretty sad. Talking about AEW right now. We got Frantic World who says, are we talking about TK or Vince? Throw Triple H in there. He ain't no better either.
I think he was talking about, first of all, yes. And I think he's talking about sleeping with your employees.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't know what he did with those NXT girls. I mean, anywho, Roku says, rough. I see you're a man of culture as well, Jimmy. I love my mommy. And we
as you fucking should. Common sense dictates you put the most interesting people in the show. What planet does fucking Stone Cold have the same amount of mic time as Mark Merrow? It makes no sense. Yes, we build the show around the Judgment Day, and the rest of you have to find your time. Sorry, it is what it is. Sorry.
Yeah, you make Raw about Judgment Day. You make SmackDown about the Bloodline. Pretty simple.
Just simple stuff here.
Pretty simple. They're the most interesting things on either show. Negro Buck saying that 2 out of 3 falls match on Collision was awesome. We got Romeo saying 4.66666. Of course, you would get that number. That would be the
Yes.
math you would figure out. Frantic World, he says, if only sober guy JJ was here to listen to Jimmy. We also got Negro Buck, who says, I give it 4.75. And we also got Roxy, who says, I told SP3 Jimmy was going to love your 5 stars. Yes.
You can't be giving everything 5. You can't have it the same as Austin Brett.
I saw 2 of them in one day. 2 5 stars.
And what was the other
2
one?
5 stars. Kenny Omega versus Vikingo too.
I didn't see it, so
yeah. Go out of your way to watch it. It's phenomenal.
I'm not. Could you be adding half a star to everything? I'm not gonna do it.
If we're like a half a star off of stuff, then it's not that big of a difference.
It's not egregious. No, it isn't. It isn't.
I love how you're literally biting your lip. We got here Ace asking us a question that we're gonna get to when we talk about that matchup before, and we got the Polished Gen who says, hey, wait, I thought AEW banned that. Me during this entire show, what did you think about the AEW banned moves list? We talked about that on the True Hill Heat podcast on Saturday, but what did you think about it?
I want to say about time, but mostly, yeah, I was more intrigued by the reaction to it, which was AEW fans losing their minds. I'm
not gonna get the wrestling that I want.
They're about to be WWE Light, man. It's like, okay,
they sold out. They don't sold. You hear, Mama? They don't sold out.
It is what it is. You won't even notice the fucking difference. You won't even notice. Like, why would you?
And that's what the Polished Gen is saying. Oh, didn't they ban that? That's what there's probably a lot of people who overreacted to that are saying watching last night's show.
By the way, yeah. While AEW fans did lose even more ground with me with their reaction to that, they were already at the bottom of the barrel and they went below that. I heard they were chanting LA Knight in Boston. So you know what? You get bumped back up. You get bumped back up to you got more exquisite taste than I thought you did. I apologize.
There we go. Well, speaking of which, let's get into last night's AEW Dynamite from TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. What did you think about the crowd last night in Boston?
Well, Boston is not quite a slave state. They are quite racist. So was not surprised by the solid crowd they had last night.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm just saying. The most racist state in the Northeast, right? With relative ease.
I mean,
well,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just don't say you're right on air. But you're gonna give them the tier underneath slave states, basically.
Yes, they're not an S tier. They're like an A tier. They're, they don't hang Negroes. They just chase them around.
See, this is why you need tier rankings on your channel.
I'm a nigga.
You're really
can't believe they're not a Negro in Harvard.
Wow. Okay. But okay, we kicked off with the FTW championship up for grabs as it was Jungle Boy Jack Perry going one-on-one with the champion Hook. But before we got into the matchup, we hear the music, Tarzan Boy, that we usually hear for Jungle Boy, but instead lights go out and we see a video of Jungle Boy burying someone wearing the signature Jungle Boy boots. He puts all the dirt on top of their body. He's in a desert. Then his limo pulls up and he puts on his sunglasses and he leaves. And then this dude comes out here to freaking Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Yo, come on. Why y'all trying to sleep on Jack for? Why y'all trying to sleep on Jack for?
Do you get
Fifth Symphony. Fifth Symphony.
Do you get it? Hey, do you get it? Look at me. I'm a douche. Bad guy. Get it? Boom me. Get it? God damn, we got it. Oh.
No, you didn't like the music change. It felt like when
No.
Christian changed his music. The Christian, unless you're on your own.
If this is a slow evolving into Christian, I'd be here for it.
That's what I want.
If he starts wearing turtlenecks, I'm here for it.
Hook came out, and this was this one you could tell it was a personal rivalry, more of a grudge match than just your regular singles match. But as stuff broke down after some brawling on the floor between the two guys, the referee is eventually bumped with Hook's head and arm suplex, gets no count from the referee as they're down. So Jack Perry grabs the FTW championship. He blasts Hook with it, and not only does he become the new FTW champion, but in the process he ends the near 2-year undefeated streak of Hook. Hook is dethroned. Hook is no longer unbeaten, undefeated. This one went 11 minutes, 38 seconds. I thought the match itself was good. It had a lot of crowd heat to it. The Boston crowd was very much invested into what was going on here. The ending came off a little bit flat. I won't lie. It came off a little bit flat and maybe a little bit unexpected because it felt like they were setting up for someone coming out and helping Jack. So that's why that felt a little bit off. But Jack Perry, he has fulfilled his destiny. What he said at the beginning of the year, he is a singles champion, a singles championship that is not recognized by the damn company. So this should be for good fonder on his promos over the next couple of weeks. Jimmy, what did you think about Jack Perry versus Hook?
The song is awful. Well, not in and of itself. I have some fucking snob in a suit yell at me. Beethoven is a genius, all right. I mean, as a wrestling theme. Match I thought was really good, actually. I like Jungle Boy's look. He actually looks like discount Jay White, quite frankly. The beard, the pants. Okay, sure.
His heel beard. His heel beard.
He's
feels store-bought.
Patchy beard. We got it.
And I'm sorry I didn't mention the smile. The smile on the pin. That was great.
That to me sold it. I don't know what that means. But whatever character that is, that fucking smile is dependent. More of that. That was brilliant. I actually really enjoyed that part. I really liked this match. I thought it was Hook's best match. That would be fair. That's not difficult. It's just
not a lot of competition there.
Yeah, he's Goldberg, quite frankly. WCW Goldberg, not the fucking paralyzing anybody not named Bret Hart Goldberg. This is great. I enjoyed all of this. I thought the feud was hit and miss. For the most part, this really worked. I think this did more for Jack than much anything else. Sorry. Outside maybe the Christian feud. Everything else. He won the tag title. So what? This is huge.
This is something that's going to help his heel character. So this is something much needed. And this is the best week for his heel character since turning heel at Forbidden Door. We got Negro Buck in the chat. He says, I loved all of this. And I love Beethoven. So that shit popped me.
I was going to laugh at you for loving Beethoven. But I was in a movie theater and I exclaimed how much I love Napoleon when they had a Napoleon trailer. And motherfuckers looked at me like I was out of my mind. So I can't knock it.
As they should. Nah.
I love Napoleon. My second favorite person in history. It's Malcolm X, then Napoleon. That's a weird combo, ain't it? But it's the truth.
I don't know how people are going to feel about this, but it just feels more.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Malcolm X is still one.
Okay. At least you got that right. You got that right. It's like we got to work on number 2 and down, I guess. I don't know. We got Frantic Girl that says, I didn't care for the new song at first, but it's starting to grow on me. It's only been a day. How's it growing on you?
It only took a few hundred years.
Oh, only took a few hundred years for the song to be out. It's just growing on me. Yes, I didn't mention that. Ricky bring it up. Taz was pissed. Taz sold the finish. Taz sold the finish the entire night, pretty much, until Blood and Guts got too outrageous for him, and then he was just like, "All right, I'm gonna enjoy this."
Yes, when Jericho showed up, he was great there too.
Yes. We got Annika in the chat saying MVP Taz for genuinely being pissed off his son got cheated out of his title. Yeah.
Come on, Taz. The game is the game.
Should play the same. The Polished Gen says, as per rules of the FTW Championship, Jack Perry is now Taz's son. Seems legit. Seems legit to me. Fun. That could be fun. Yes. We do have a super chat donation from our good friend Kid Get Money. He's Kid Sends Money, and he says, as Jungle Boy got the pin, he smiled. The same smile I will have as the Jacksonville Jaguars beats all your favorite home teams. # Duval. Thank you so much, Kid Get Money.
Committed.
Always appreciate you. The commitment. It's unreal. What do you think Jacksonville ends in the NFL season coming up, Jimmy?
They have Trevor Lawrence, which somehow the Jets didn't get, even though they were fucking in that spot for the majority of the fucking year. I'll never forgive them for that. However, I'm going to go with, there's 17 games now. God damn it. Fuck my math up. 9-8.
9-8. I'll go with 10-7. 10-7 make the playoffs. Wild card. Maybe wild card. 11-6. 11-6, 10-7. That's wild.
Better than the Jets?
Yes.
Agreed. Because they shot Trevor Lawrence. The fuck?
We do have Ricey who says, I was also expecting Anna J to pick him up in the limo. I was too. I thought I was the only one. I thought Anna J was going to be in the limo. I was like, oh, they sealed it. They sealed it. This all makes sense. Let me get this straight.
So you have this lovable baby face. Lovable strong. You have this likable baby face in Sammy Guevara. So your solution is you're going to pair him up with his hot girlfriend because all these loser wrestling fans love nothing more than a hot girl they can't get. Okay. So now we have an actual heel. Are we not going to pair him up with his hot girlfriend? The fuck are we even doing?
We need to learn these lessons. Learn the lessons. This is how you get heel heat, sir. Jesus.
Yes, that was actually the final straw in what they did for Austin. They put him with Vince, they put him with Triple H, they had him beat up Lita, did all this shit. Then they gave Deborah. I was like, heel.
It's like bingo. There it is. There it is. What was the key for Triple H to go to the next level as the top heel? It was he was with China for years. China took him to one level. Then when he was
you all stop it.
Yes, it was. He was floundering. He needed something, and it was very unique to have a female bodyguard at that time. It was a great act, and it took him to the next. It took him from lower card to upper mid card, and then when he was done with China, it took him from upper mid card to main event to the main event when he was with Stephanie.
Jesus fucking Christ. So he might have slept with the horsewoman, was your first comment. And now China took him from lower card to upper. We've lost our minds. What the fuck did Triple H do over the weekend? What did he do over the weekend? You say something crazy? Did he bury Booker T again? What the fuck did he do? What the fuck?
Big Man Dog saying match was good. Hope Hook isn't sent to the farm after this. Jesus.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. The Polished Gent says Macram Max.
I'm not mad at that. That could work.
That's actually good. Eric saying, hey, chat, this was a great Dynamite.
Sure.
We got Danica getting on the Duval train. We got Louis who says China shake and bacon Marlena was something else. It was.
I gotta be honest. I loved
what a best intro.
Every version of China before she started fighting men is fucking fantastic. It just is. It's a great act. And then it just went over the top.
Before she started wrestling, when she was just supposed to be a bodyguard.
Yes, it's like she's gigantic for a woman. Have you seen next to Chris Jericho? Chris Jericho's not even a big guy. He dwarfs her. Like, would you guys stop? Anyway.
So we'll address this now. At this point, we get Alex Marvez, who is, or I guess earlier today or last week, he's like, I'm here to investigate the hottest news story going on today. Is Chris Jericho gonna join the Don Callis family? So he's at a restaurant. He has a camera out at the restaurant until Don Callis realizes that the camera is there and they're not quiet at all, sneaking and doing all of this as he has been in a meeting with Chris Jericho and bought him a watch or something, and he gets his security to throw them out. We then a little bit later see Don Callis and Chris Jericho arriving at the building, making fun of Alex Marvez, calling him a fathead idiot as they walk in together. What did you think about the latest between Don Callis and Chris Jericho here? And we do have a little bit more, little story beat that we'll get to, but just this part, what did you think?
I like the effort. They're trying to do something interesting, sports entertaining, but considering the payoff this episode, it doesn't work. It just didn't. It just did not.
You need some type of answer if you're doing all that.
Yes.
Like something. They were missing just one extra segment with maybe like Marvez gets a Jericho after what happens after the blind eliminator final. He interviews Jericho and Jericho lets something slip as far as where his mind is. So Marvez got something out of his horrible investigating.
It's such a weird, like, I know AEW doesn't like to follow the rules of common sense, but it's such a weird, like, he's investigating the hottest news in the company that he works for. That's weird. It's fucking weird. Like, if fucking ESPN spent all day reporting on ESPN stuff. Like,
ESPN.
Stephen A. Smith's contract.
Let's talk about Jalen Rose being ejected from ESPN.
So, this is fucking weird. What the fuck are we doing? Anyway.
Yeah. FS1 talking about Shannon Sharp leaving undefeated. What's really
I heard he might join Stephen A. Smith, and I won't be watching.
I will be loving that every minute of it.
Shannon Sharp my favorite. Stephen A. is my least favorite. But my hatred for Stephen A. greatly outweighs my love for Shannon Sharp.
Why do you hate Stephen A. so much?
He's obnoxious and annoying, and his face is stupid, and he's a coon, and he's a company man, and he's a tap dancer. Like, you can pick one of those, and like, that's my answer.
Just name it all. Just gonna name it all, ladies and gentlemen. Just naming it all. We got Frantic World who says this was okay, but Chris Jericho needs to stop taking up TV time from other. He took up. What are you talking about? He took up like freaking 30 seconds between the two segments we just mentioned, and Frantic then he was on commentary helping his story for a tag team match.
I'm here. Hey, Frantic World is the guy I was talking about who thinks everybody should get equal TV time. Because we're all together in this. We're all wrestlers under the same umbrella. No. Roman is more important than fucking Santos Escobar. Sorry,
guys. This is not how that works. All right. So we go to earlier this week as once again our bestest friends, MJF and Adam Cole, they're out at a restaurant last night where MJF got to face two of his biggest fears. Spicy food and poor people. They sit down and MJF tells a story about slamming the 600-pound Big Bill in front of 95,000 Maximaniacs in Saskatoon. But then the food is really spicy. They drink a lot to kill the spice. And then they're told by the waiter that the drinks are actually 100% alcohol. Later, Max tells the Bill story again, and this time Bill is 776 pounds, and it was in front of 99,000 people in Saskatoon. And Adam Cole's just like, I was there. I know the real story. Then Adam Cole tells MJF that the waiter looks like Sammy Guevara, and MJF says no, he kind of looks like Daniel Garcia, and there is one thing left to do, and they say double clothesline, and they go to clothesline, double clothesline the waiter to end this segment. I thought this was another kind of just showing off their comedic timing with each other, showing off their chemistry. Not as great as last week, but definitely a worthy successor to what we saw last week. What did you think about this segment with MJF and Adam Cole? Better than you, baby. You're muted.
Yeah. Like you said, it wasn't good as last week's. Yeah.
So how do you go from praising it last week to mad? There is no in between.
Because it was good last week. And it was fine this week. But like you're following, there's no follow-up. There's no things have to go from one point to the next. And if it's just, I've played about AEW all the time, where it goes from A to B to B to B to B to B to B to Z, and you all pretend like that's a long-term storytelling. It isn't. This was just another B. I'm not interested in it. So it was Adam actually being a friend to Max and actually wanting him to face his fears. He was a friend last week. You play video games with somebody. No, he just realized that they can be friends. Great. Okay. So now what? He acted on his realization. So what? You got to see the progression of that story. We did. Yeah, we did. You do it by progressing it. That's how that works. You progress it. I'm sorry. It was fine. Again, I didn't hate it. Just fine. By the way, you find the most minute things to criticize. I'm not criticizing it. You asked what I thought. I said, Then you asked me to expunge on my so I'm expunging. Foundation is losing his mind. I gotta be honest. I'm here for everything he's saying, and none of it makes sense. We got Foundation. It says Adam Cole air humping while he's dancing. In parentheses, he says Britt Baker DMD watching this fold on TV live. Damn, baby, do that to me. He's losing his mind over here. Sir, take your hand out of your pants. At least lock the door. Good Lord, sir. What the hell? What the hell is going on in this damn chat? We got Big Man Does. It says MJF dreams about being a beloved babyface. We got AC says this segment was great. We also got it here in the chat. I felt like it should have been before last week's segment. No, I feel like this is the natural progression to last week's segment. Adam Cole realized that Max is actually a good guy and they can actually be friends. And then he's actually being a good friend and actually getting his friend to be a good friend. You got to defend your friend or get your friend to face their fears, have their back in something. And that's what he did here. Okay. And if we say that is accurate, I do want to explain something. I have to explain to people on my channel when I watch movies. When I say the first half of this movie was boring. And then they go, well, you have to understand it was necessary for the plot, blah, 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 blah. Necessary doesn't make it not boring. I'm sorry. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. So, even if I accept that this moved the story forward, which I don't, let's say I did, it still wasn't good. It was just fine. And that's fair. Next, we had Adam Cole's significant other, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She's in one-on-one action against Kayla Sparks. Yep. That's it. That's all you got for us. Yep. A 1 minute
6 seconds. It's over.
What?
Yeah, I don't even have another picture for it. I don't even have another picture for it. 1 minute, 6 seconds. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, submits Kayla Sparks. Honestly, I feel like a broken record because we've been doing this show for 103 episodes, and I feel like this is like the 10th, 11th, 12th time I've said this. Like, if you don't care about the women's division, you don't have to make it this obvious. You don't have to make it this obvious to the point that I forgot I didn't even have an extra picture for this, but there you go. There's the extra picture for it. But yeah, just going out there and dragging out a local talent and Britt Baker because Britt's traveling with Adam Cole. You probably saved money on travel because you only had to bring out 2 other women besides the women we just saw for a Rampage match. But this whole rule of one Dynamite matchup, there has to be one women's matchup to avoid criticism. No, that you're too old for this. You're 4 years old now. You gotta stop pissing on the floor, AEW. Gotta stop pissing on the floor when it comes to the women's division. We went from 6 months ago debating if there was gonna be a women's blood and guts match to the blood and guts show. We get 66 seconds of women anything. Like, we ain't even get it. We usually they compact it into the women's quarter hour where if they wanted to put something else for the woman, they put it in that same quarter hour. We ain't even get that. We got Chris Statlander standing around with Best Friend. That's the only other woman we saw on the damn show. What did you think about this, Jimmy?
Before we even get to the match, if we can call it that, if you prefer, I seen a recent. Hate to keep bringing up LA Knight. Actually, no, I don't. I do. It's my favorite. They did a comparison of his pop from 6 months ago to now. We should do a comparison of Britt Baker's reaction from now to a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It's egregious. It's dead silent, and my feelings were hurt. And then for this fucking match to take place, yes, easily. It's one of my pet peeves. If you don't have anything, no need to force it. You just don't put anything up. Problem is, you should have had something because you have a feud that isn't dead yet. It's not over. For some reason, it should have been over, but it's not over. You have a women's champion who's active. You have 2 women's champions who are active. Give them a fucking match. This is a different
promo. Something.
Wrestling's not hard.
You
just won that big thing.
You actually
won the thing.
They actually have acts on the women's division that don't have championships that they seem to be building, like Julia Hart. Yet that's what we get on this show.
Fucking this probably would have been Jade's spot if she was around, so we can add another number to the 15 something. This is egregious. This is awful, and somebody besides LJ needs to say something, but nobody does. At least not to his face.
He won't let me in the press conference. He knows. He's seen the show. We say he watches the Ramble. That's why I don't get into the press conference. Will Jism says, I will say it every time when Tony didn't get to make Mercedes join AEW. Tony said, fuck the women's storyline and fuck all these women. This really hit a new low for AEW booking. This did feel like a new low, and it's very... Yes. I think it's because of the year, despite your feelings on the Outcast storyline, it's been so consistently on the show. Like the one good thing about it is that it's been the most consistent thing as far as a storyline, a dedicated storyline that AEW has pretty much almost ever done with the women's division. Like consistently week to week, you could say Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, but that wasn't like week to week like this. It's been week to week with the Outcast. So yeah, this was a new low because the year has been centered around the Outcast segment and them at least doing something on the show and some type of progression, quote unquote, progression of that story. This week, they didn't even put them on the show. Didn't even acknowledge them, really.
I think you should just make the women's division part of one of the brands. Just do it. Just move on. Just do it. You don't care enough. Take it off Dynamite. Put it on Collision. Punk will find something to do. He loves being creative. Just give him something. This is just a fucking mess.
We got Big Man Dog who says Tony trying to avoid a gender discrimination lawsuit.
I just I hear everything in Roman's voice, and it's just more funny to me.
Tony trying to avoid a gender discrimination lawsuit. We got Roxy who says, I would have preferred no women's match than this. We also got Annika who says, and tell Jimmy they only gave Willow and Ruby 9 minutes for the Owen Hart final Saturday. I mean, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, the match was good. I mean, it didn't set the world on fire or anything like that.
How long was the Starks Punk match?
Starks and Punk had to be like 14 minutes.
Oh, that's fine enough. Close enough.
Yeah. When you have a 58-minute match, like
FTR's going an hour. Yeah. Which reminds me, a lot of people didn't think tag team wrestling draws, but does it not draw because it doesn't draw, or it doesn't draw because you don't push it? And when you don't push it, it doesn't draw. You end up in this vicious cycle. Just replace tag team with women, you'll see the issue with AEW.
Yes. Like the company that we've been watching all these years, they still haven't really figured out the tag team thing. Like, they have great tag teams and they rely on them very heavily, and they did that with the Usos. They're doing that right now with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But as far as making it a drawing factor and putting the tag team division on the same level as the heavyweight division or in the main event spot consistently, they're not going to do that. So with AEW, it's been the woman. It's been this thing for 4 years now where we've been saying the same thing over and over again. They need to push the women more. They need to do more with the women. There are stories to do here. We're not just saying it and not coming up with solutions. There's been solutions. There's been suggestions. There's stuff out there, Tony. Do something.
It's not even complicated. I'm afraid. Do we have any update on Hater's injury, by the way?
No, we haven't.
Damn it.
We got Paula Jen. It says Britt was more over when she was in a wheelchair.
Dude, from that point with the Reba stuff, everything up until she won the belt. You know why? Because she had a fucking personality. Yeah. Then she became a generic mean heel, and now she's a generic, still kind of mean babyface. I don't know what we're doing. What is this?
She's Charlotte Flair babyface. That's what she is. She's a Charlotte Flair babyface. We got Frantic World who says this was not good. The ROH women's matches got more time last week than this week on Dynamite. Well, I mean, obviously, because you said the plural word of matches, not match. So matches will most definitely should get more time than one match, 1 minute and 6 seconds. Sheesh. So disappointing.
Where are we going? We're going with Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm.
And this is the problem though, because Stephen X in the question, wonder the Hayter injury delaying the storyline far as a woman's blood and guts go. That shouldn't be a thing anymore. Like, you did the whole, we're going to delay the whole Jade Cargill title reign and undefeated storyline because Chris Statlander is injured. You did that already. You used your one bingo card on injury, delays storyline. You did that already. You can't do it again in the same division in the same damn year.
That's egregious. No injury that lasts longer than a month should ever delay a whole storyline. Your storyline is dependent on one person, and that person is not fucking Roman Reigns. You have an issue. Yeah. You have an issue. Nothing else should be slowing down. Sorry. You should be going.
Like, if you look at the top 3 program for AEW this year, I don't think you would get a lot of argument from many people that the Elite and Blackpool Combat Club is in that top 3 programs in AEW in 2023. And they had one of their biggest characters out at the last minute, Bryan Danielson. What did they do? They just had someone fill in that had a lot of history with everybody involved on the other side. and parlayed that into your main event for Ring of Honor. They accomplished a lot with the main event. So you telling me they can't do this with the woman?
Seriously. Bryan Danielson's slowing things down. Shit shouldn't be slowed down. Ever.
Facts.
Fucking egregious.
And finally, we got Big Man Dogs. He says, injuries can't delay storylines because you're supposed to swap tracks.
Thank you, sir. Oh, shit. Statlander's out again, by the way. Who could have saw that coming? We need somebody else. It's not, let's wait for her to come back. That's wild.
Let's wait. The 8 or so months she's going to come back from injury so we can get this story done. Backstage, Renee Paquette is with the bestest friends, Better Than You, baby, as they are talking about how their plan A for tonight is to hit the double clothesline and to go on and win the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And MJF says, unlike Sammy Guevara's skank of a wife, we don't need a plan B. They even have, we got MJF who tells Adam Cole, I have a surprise for you, and it's matching trunks. And Adam Cole says, well, I have a surprise for you, and it's matching jackets. And he says he has one more surprise for MJF, but he's got to wait and see. Their chemistry is so gold. It's just gold. It's fucking gold. And it's sad that we're just 10 days away from it all going up in flames. But the best part about it is Roderick Strong as the jilted friend who comes in after the two of them leave. And he's in a neck break, and Renee asks him a question. He says, not now, Renee.
I know you guys talk about the chemistry, but Roger Strong might be the best part of this.
He might be the best part. His role as the jilted friend, I think, is making this so multi-layered.
It's so ridiculous. It's a grown man talking about, where you going? Fucking Dark Order ass motherfucker. Like, if you don't get the fuck out of here, you're a grown man. Go find some friends. Go drink a beer. Go fuck your wife. What the fuck are you doing? Go home.
Go find Kyle. Where's Kyle? Where's Kyle O'Reilly? He got a hurt neck too.
But this is great, by the way. I would have completely skipped the first part and would have went right to this. This accomplished everything the first part did. The friends, so you say, great. They give each other gifts. Done. We could save ourselves 5 minutes of fucking wings in Boston. Imagine how awful that tastes, Jesus.
Hey, Boston's got good Chinese food. I've had Chinese food in Boston before.
Sure
I did.
No Chinese people working behind the register.
Yes.
Oh, nice. All right. Never mind. I'm sorry, I'm racist in that way. If I walk into an Italian joint for some fucking chicken parm, it better be some Italians behind the fucking register. It fucking better be. What are these black people doing in here? I'm out of here.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Welcome to the Chinese spot. It's a bunch of fucking Koreans. I know, you can't fool me. I'm out of here. You can't fool me.
So Koreans can only cook Korean food?
You can cook wherever you want, at home, wherever you want, at your girlfriend's house. But I won't be eating at your store. That's all I'm saying.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
You walk to a soul food spot.
I got this pitch. Is this something you might be interested in? I got this pitch for you. Listen, I got you right here. You walk into a soul food spot. You see a blonde hair woman with blue eyes. You get the fuck up out of there.
Time to go. It's time to leave. It's only good time. It's only good time is to be racist.
Yo. Oh man, I can't. My face hurts right now. we got Film Nation basically begging with you. Damn, bro, fine, chill. Annika says facts. You could have stopped at should food
All right.
or soul food. Soul food.
I'm stopping.
We got Ricky who says, I freaking love you guys. Thank you, Ricky. Share with a friend. Maybe they'll get a kick out of it. Sometimes, you can share it to a friend who doesn't even watch wrestling and they'll enjoy it.
Probably enjoy more. Wrestling fans be upset. Yo, what the fuck is the AEW stuff? Where's the timestamp for the AEW stuff?
Next, we had the Blind Eliminator final, as it was Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia of the Jericho Appreciation Society versus AEW World Champion MJF and Adam Cole, baby. So MJF comes out to his theme music. He cuts his music, does his usual stick of pointing to the other entranceway for Adam Cole to come out to his music. But then he hears the beginning beats for his music, and he's like, oh, production team, you got it wrong. Cut it. You got it wrong. And it's actually a mashup, and it's a good one, of MJF and Adam Cole's theme music. MJF marks the fuck out. He finally hugs Adam Cole, paying off the weeks and weeks Adam Cole wouldn't allow him to hug him. They come down, they do the strut, they do their usual entrance. This time, Adam Cole is all for it. Chris Jericho is on commentary to watch his Jericho Appreciation Society proteges in this matchup. Before the match can really begin, we get Daniel Garcia doing the Garcia dance on MJF, and MJF puts a thumbs down for it. Daniel Garcia offers the floor for MJF to answer back, but MJF says no, but then he does decide to do the Garcia dance, and then MJF, since he's everyone's favorite babyface, he suggests this to the Boston fans. He was like, do you want to see a dance off? And they say yes. So he goes over to the timekeeper's table, turns on some dancing music. Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia have a whole routine plan where they do the Too Cool electric slide badly. Sammy Guevara is not Spanish at all because he has no rhythm at all. Then they end off with a nice La Sex Gods / Shark Week theme pose here with
What
Garcia between
can never go back to Buffalo.
Between Guevara's legs, then MJF
Look at his bulge right next to his cheek. He could never go back.
MJF answers back, swiveling his hips, gyrating, or dancing as only he can, and then he offers the floor for Adam Cole, who's just been standing behind all of this in disbelief, and he starts dancing horribly like your white aunt at on Christmas Sunday, who thinks she's got the coolest moves that she saw online. Oh my God! We even get the record scratch. This was sports entertainment gold. The greatest dance-off in wrestling history, in my opinion, right here. This was great. And it led into what was a very entertaining tag team matchup. That is all about Adam Cole and MJF's ability to get the simplest things over, ladies and gentlemen. This was all built around their double clothesline. They went for it on multiple occasions. We then get MJF actually teases a dive early on where he goes back and forth and he does his usual stick where he just stops and poses, but then later on his best friend encourages him, wants to see him do it, wants to see him go for a dive, and he tries to encourage him, and we find out that MJF doesn't do dives, not because of some not because he's like some heel that just wants to get heat. It's actually because he's really nervous about it and actually doesn't have the courage to do it until Adam Cole encourages him, super kicks both guys on the outside. He does the tope suicida to a huge pop. We even get Chris Jericho on commentary saying that that's the biggest pop a tope suicida has gotten since 1992. You get Adam Cole catches Sammy with some super kicks, and then finally, after they catch Daniel Garcia in the ring, they isolate him. They finally throw him to the ropes, and they did it, Jimmy. They goddamn did it. Double clothesline, and 1, 2, 3. With the double clothesline to one of the biggest pops in AEW history, Adam Cole and MJF get the win. They win the blind eliminator tournament. They're on the same page. They hit the double clothesline. They are going for the AEW World Tag Team Championship on July 29th. Nothing can go wrong except when the referee hands Adam Cole the AEW World Championship. Adam Cole goes to give it to MJF, but then he longingly stares at the title, which does not please MJF at all. He takes the title from Cole and pushes him. Cole says that I was just trying to give this back to you. I'm sorry. And he was like, this is yours. You deserve it. You earned it. I'm your friend. MJF thinks the better of it. He hugs Adam Cole. Adam Cole goes to the corner to go celebrate and pose. All the while, MJF's smile turns to this look of regret and sadness, and he holds up the title like he's about to hit him, and then he goes to the other corner and starts celebrating. FTR then comes out to confront MJF and Adam Cole here. We get a little jaw jacking between Dax and MJF, and then to end this after a little jaw jacking to end this segment, they play the mashup music once again of Adam Cole and MJF. And Dax Hardwood is not pleased with any of this. Dax Hardwood actually goes to the camera and he says, Tony, we're the champions. You should be playing our music. I was like, they won, Dax. What the fuck? They won.
Dax Hardwood. I'm here for Dax. Professional wrestler. Goddamn right.
Never changed. I thought Adam Cole, MJF versus Sammy and Danny was great. It was just great. Just simple stuff, but it just worked. It just worked in the best way possible. The best judge of wrestling when you're watching it is usually the live crowd. And they ate up at each and every moment of this. And all the guys played their roles perfectly throughout. So absolutely enjoyed the tag team matchup. Really enjoyed the post match because not only did you get the MJF Adam Cole stuff, you had Chris Jericho come off commentary and see his JAS proteges, and they just both looked at each other and then walked away from him. It didn't need to be focused on too much. It was a little story beat to continue the story, the overarching story of what's going on with Jericho and stuff, pushing him further to the Don Callis family. So I like that. They accomplished so much in so little amount of time. I thought that this was one of the better pieces of business AEW has done on Dynamite in quite some time. Jimmy, what did you think overall about all of this? The match, the post-match, everything that went down, and MJF, Adam Cole versus FTR, July 29th. Should we see new tag team champions?
No. Let's not get crazy. I I just said this about Roman the other day. I really like the storyline. I like it better if the champ wasn't involved. I think the storyline really works. Cole and MJF, if MJF wasn't the champ, it doesn't feel like a main event storyline to me. It's a highly enjoyable one. It's just not serious enough. I'm sorry. I can't have my champion at a dance off. I can't have it. I'm sorry. I cannot allow it. I can't have it. that aside, this was all fun, stupid. Fun, mostly. Like you said, it's the best piece of business. I was very efficient storytelling here. I got a lot across in a little bit of time. Jericho, we finally get the payoff. One would imagine Sammy and Daniel Garcia are reacting to the fact that Marvez is fantastic journalism. That dummy showed up here with Don Callis. Fair enough. The fact that we got all of our story beats, mashup music, double clothesline, hug, that means we've cleared the board. We have done everything we needed to get done.
Yes.
In this story.
That's what I was hoping. I was hoping they would save the double clothesline for the championship match, but no, they did it. They did it here, which it makes more sense to do it against the natural heels, whereas the FTR matchup is babyface, pretty much.
I love the idea. I think that's what we're going with. The idea that both parties have been completely genuine, MJF included, about their love for one another, except MJF realizes he can't trust anybody. They all want his belt. That's all this is. He was setting me up. So I got to turn on him. Awesome.
Yes, I love that it is really Adam Cole who is the first domino that dropped. If he didn't stare at the title so long, this wouldn't have to be this way. But you could tell that look. He did so much with that small look, with him just basically saying, "Son of a bitch is manipulating me. He's manipulating. He's just trying to get close to my title." All the insecurities that has been established with Max just came through with that one look.
I looked right in the camera like, I got to fuck him up, right? Yeah, I got to fuck him up. This is great. The FTR stuff was great. Dax is great. I see why he gets along with Punk. They're just so old school. And their philosophies, I'm here for it. I'm really looking forward to this. All of this. It's going to be on Collision?
Yes, Collision, July 29th. You're going to be on Collision course that weekend? Come on, join us.
I don't join. All right, this is no offense to anybody. I'm sure I've offended a whole bunch of you at some point or another, especially Stat King. I'm sure I've gotten his name. And what's the other one? He does the watch along.
Josh?
Yeah. So there's no offense to any of you guys. On down. And whoever you collision course with. Was one of them two or not.
Sober guy JJ.
Oh, Jesus.
He's like, I know him.
I don't particularly care about any of your opinions. Therefore, I don't particularly want to hear them. Like, I do this show because I get to hear my opinions. All these thoughts I had in my head for 12 hours, I get to spit it out. So my thoughts and my opinions. Meanwhile, if I do a show with somebody else, I've got to hear their opinions. I don't want to hear their opinions. I'm not interested. I want to hear my opinions. I want to hear me talk.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Sorry. No offense to you. I'm an egomaniac.
I mean, this should be no offense to me. You don't even care to hear my opinion. And I do this damn show with you every fucking week. He basically just said,
"You don't know shit."
No, it's not that I don't think.
He wants me to work with pricks constantly. That's what it is.
Nevertheless,
all right, fair enough. Might be onto something. Just saying.
Listen up, you prick.
oh man, this is why.
Sure, you guys are all great and brilliant and quite smart and sure. That.
We got bringing up about the last segment here. Frantic World saying the history between MJF and Dax is going to be very interesting to see on TV. Yeah, I like the fact that the match, they do have some time. They have 2 episodes of Collision. Is it 2? No, they have one episode of Collision, 1 episode of Dynamite to build this up even more.
So Collision should just be an FTR promo, more importantly, a Dax promo. And then you could do like a face-to-face on Dynamite, I suppose.
Do something like that. Steven Chambers saying looks like FTR slowly building to a heel turn. I didn't get that.
I didn't get that from just a segment, but I thought they were rather heelish in both matches against Bullet Club Gold.
They were.
Still a horrible name,
White.
by the way.
Huh?
Bullet Club Gold is still a horrible name, by the way.
Bang Bang Gang. That's what you call them, the Bang Bang
Gang. It's
a
little better, but that's also horrendous.
The Bang Bang Gang? You don't like the
They
Bang
don't
Bang
shoot.
Gang?
No. 50 Cent calling himself the Bang Bang Gang could be entertaining. These 2 guys who don't shoot anything, so maybe juice and cocaine, not interested. Sorry. Not a Bang Bang Gang. Sorry.
Juice and cocaine. That would have been great. Oh my God. I'm mad I didn't think about that.
Juice is hilarious. I'm not going to lie.
I told you. You have crossed over to the juice side. You're on the juice side.
Yes.
Yes.
Juice as a fucking annoying sidekick is fucking perfect.
It's the perfect role for him. They finally found the perfect role for Juice. Annoying, loud sidekick. Who I love the story of the third fall was Jay just desperately trying to avoid FTR being left alone with Juice. Like he was like, you're the only way we lose this match. They can't beat me. You're the only way. Like him grabbing at his hand while they're in the sharpshooter. Oh, so great.
That's
so
wild.
Good.
Like I know I'm not gonna tap, so
looking at you. You know how this goes. Oh man, so great.
Collision's better than Dynamite. Can we just acknowledge this? It's a fact of life.
It was last week.
It's been better for 3 of the last 4 weeks.
No. Wouldn't say that.
The first week wasn't better?
First week was better.
The second week wasn't better?
No.
Come on now. Don't do that, Skip.
It wasn't.
What was the last 7.5 we had on this fucking show? Besides this one, if you consider.
We had 7.5 last week. What are you talking about? You act like you were in a drought or something.
We are though. Yes, we are. Yes, that.
We got Roxy who says we need a Ramble collision with only you 2.
No, I wouldn't do that to
He already forgot his name. The polished Jen says, you know, Jimmy is about to drop a hot take when he starts the sentence with, "This is no offense, but."
I'm trying to have a decorum about the show. I'm trying to be polite and agreeable.
We got Ninja Boy that says, "I'm with Jimmy Non." Jimmy Non?
Jimmy on.
Yes. Jimmy. Oh. It says non. It's NON. Jimmy on the collision greater than Dynamite. There you go.
It just is.
No, but
sorry.
You can think that. That's fine. That's all right. Darby Allin, Nick Wayne, Orange Cassidy, Chris Statlander.
No, I apologize. You're right. Dynamite is better. Go to this brilliant segment. Go ahead.
Darby Allin, Nick Wayne, Orange Cassidy, Chris Statlander, and the Best Friends are ready for their respective matches. Renee mentions that the Best Friends will compete for the ROH World Tag Team Championships this Friday at ROH Death Before Dishonor. Meanwhile, Chris Statlander will defend the TBS Championship in an open challenge on Rampage, and Darby and Nick Wayne will compete in the Royal Rampage. Darby points out that Swerve Strickland will also be in the Royal Rampage, and he's looking to eliminate him. He wants his attention. Now he's got it, and he's going to go on and get a shot at the TNT Championship at All Out. But he says as far as Darby goes, since Renee mentions that Darby has a rare week off, that Orange has a rare week off, Darby says that he wants to ask Orange for a favor for his friend, as he owes AR Fox a favor for allowing him to sleep on his his couch and sofa when he was just coming up in the business, and he wants to get him an international championship matchup. And Orange Cassidy says, yeah, whatever, sure. And that's official for next week. Orange Cassidy versus AR Fox. They put the hands in the middle, but Darby and Nick Wayne don't take part in this, unfortunately. Lack of team spirit. Any comments on this one?
On what planet does any of that make sense? I owe AR Fox a favor, so give him an international championship shot? Firstly, who the fuck are you? Why do I owe you a favor? The fuck are you talking about? Oh my god. Whatever. This I like everybody here, some more than others. I'd go Renee, and then Statlander, and then Darby and Orange, and the rest of you can fuck off.
Use the like trend.
Boy, it's been rough. It's been rough. Trent's had a rough go of it. He got hurt, came back in great shape, but he shaved his head. Now he looks a generic white guy 6. He could be in Dark Order for all I know. This you should get rid of this segment. Like, this is unneeded. Ours just need a reason to defend the belt. Rarely needs a reason, so we don't need any of this. Aside from the fact you want to promote ROH at the last fucking minute. Not interested. Sorry.
This is just seemed like a segment to plug all the other shows they have the rest of the week.
Yes, and nobody's listening at this point because we're ready for Blood and Guts. Get to that part.
Pretty much. We did get a quick segment with Sharky, Choppy of Shark Week. I guess it's Tony Khan after he's taking some coke and he's dancing around behind the commentary table. And Taz wants nothing to do with any of this. Taz is still pissed from earlier tonight. Taz was great. Taz was just great.
Indeed. Love Taz. By the way, commentary team, even the B team on Collision, better than Dynamite. Sorry, it just is.
Ian Riccaboni was amazing during the 2 out of 3 falls matchup.
2 good commentators is better than 3 good commentators. It just is. Sorry, it's math.
He really made me feel like, especially the second fall of FTR and Bullet Club Gold. I was like, yo, this is a straight up. I feel like these guys talked about this part and they were like, we're just gonna straight up do a tribute to FTR versus Briscoes. Because it had the same energy, the same type of brawling. Like, I was just like, oh, this is great. This is just great. Fantastic.
Love FTR.
5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars. Give it what it deserves, sir. Don't watch it 5 times and then tell me, oh no, now it's 5 stars.
I'm not watching that fucking match 5 times. Absolutely not.
Like,
I watch any match 5 fucking times. I've only watched 2 matches more than 3 times.
You watch Wrestle Kingdom 17 4 times.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, that's one of the 2 matches. Austin Brett is the other one. That's it. Watching these other matches, the whole for what? I've seen it. I know what happens. Pass.
We got Roxy who says, I like to see the 2 babies in a match, Wayne versus Hook. We also got the Polished Gent who says Orange did a solid for his boy, and this motherfucker Darby left him hanging on his hands in. Disrespectful little dork.
That is kind of wild. You asked me, you said you did a solid, you fucking doing a solid for AR Fox. No. That's not what's happening here. You are asking me for a fucking favor. That's what's going on here, and I'm giving it to you. You gonna leave me hanging? Man, fuck you.
Man, fuck you. This is why we not gonna be a team no more.
Absolutely.
It's like Annika saying they cool. They've been a tag team for a minute now. They have last few months. It's been true. House shows and everything. Louis saying should have been Jungle Boy in the shark suit attacking Taz. That would have been, oh my god! I would have popped. I would have popped so big for that.
Oh, what a demon. That would have been awesome. I gotta be honest.
That would have been great.
Just
that would have been the
smoke.
Best heel heat. That would have been the best.
Beat somebody for a belt and fuck up their dad. That's hilarious.
That's the double down. Next, it was finally time. It was the 9 o'clock hour, and it was time for Blood and Guts. We get the rules as always. 2 men enter the cage for 1 5-minute round. Every 3 minutes, another participant enters. Blood and Guts match officially begins after all 10 men have entered the cage. The winning team is determined by making any opponent submit or surrender. The cage comes down, and our first two men in representing the Blackpool Combat Club is Claudio Castagnoli, and representing the Golden Elite is Kenny Omega. And I was so hyped, Jimmy. When these were the first two in, I was like, oh yes. Oh yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Thank you for giving me what I wanted here. They had a nice 5-minute round, very hard hitting, very physical, very early, even early on. Then we had Pat come out. He's a second participant, and we started to develop the story of the matchup. With even though that Pat and Claudio had the 2-on-1 advantage, they had a little bit of a disagreement early on, and Claudio was like, "No, let's get back on the same page," and they continued attacking Omega. Next out was Hangman Adam Page. He came out to a big response. He was very using his agility, very flingy, flippy, very early on, doing moonsaults in the cage off the top rope onto Castagnoli, German suplex to Pac. Then they split up into the two different rings. We had Hangman and Kenny, a tag team again, reunited against Claudio and Pac at this point. Then the third person in for the Blackpool Combat Club is none other than Jon Moxley. And at this point, I was like, damn, Blackpool Combat Club putting out all the heavy hitters early. Like they putting out all their spades early. They putting out the ace of spades, the deuce of spades, the Joker, the baby Joker, all at once. Moxley comes in and he's got some cards of his own. He's got a fork where he stabs Omega in the head with. He then starts stabbing and bludgeoning Hangman Page. He's got a screwdriver that he's stabbing people with. Yo, Moxley handing forks to Claudio. This dude's got broken glass. Him and Claudio do a double suplex on Omega into the broken glass. You see the broken glass in Omega's back. Nick Jackson is the next in. He goes crazy, running wild with some Hurricane Radas. He did a perfect springboard Hurricane Rada from one ring to the other to Claudio Castagnoli into the broken glass. That I was just like, man, Nick Jackson, one of a kind.
Goddamn right. Definitely one of a kind.
Wheeler Yuta is next out. His whole entrance happens during the commercial break. Kind of disrespectful. Little bit disrespectful. A little bit disrespectful to the young man.
It is what it is.
He comes in with the steel chair. He does a nice little brain buster onto Nick Jackson onto an unfolded steel chair, which that was really nice. Then you get Matt Jackson come out, which Jimmy Macram was going wild for this. Matt faceplants Pac in a weird way. I think Pac was trying to avoid the broken glass, so he hit his head right onto the mat, like right in front of the broken glass. He hits an assisted sliced bread on Castagnoli. We get Moxley back up for some suplexes to drop the Bucks as Castagnoli steals Matt Jackson's vest, and he starts running wild with European uppercuts at one point. This brings in Konosuke Takeshita as he battles through Hangman and the Young Bucks to start battling it out with Kenny Omega in the second ring. They start going at it. At this point, Jon Moxley pulls out a bed of nails. Don Callis is on commentary now, and Moxley whips Omega into the bed of nails. He then picks him up and body slams him into the bed of nails as Claudio Castagnoli looks on terrified. Then finally you get Kota Ibushi coming out. He comes out to a huge monster reaction from this Boston crowd. He starts running wild with some kicks to the Blackpool Combat Club team after taking out Wheeler Yuta, who tries to meet him on the stage and gets dropped. This leads to Matt Jackson fighting out with Wheeler Yuta on outside of the cage and leading to the top of the cage, but we'll get to that as Kota Ibushi fights his way through the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club. He sees in the second ring Jon Moxley, who's even more bloodier than what we saw before. He's stomping on Kenny Omega's hand on the bed of nails and daring Kota Ibushi to come face him and save his best friend. They start facing off. This felt like an electric moment in the matchup. Eventually, Kota Ibushi is able to kick Moxley down into the bed of nails and then performs a standing moonsault on Moxley. Moxley as he's on the nails. Yo, Moxley was just laying there. I'm like, yo, get the fuck off of that shit, yo. Like, we got I think 2 commercials even after Kota Ibushi came out. Like we got a good full 20 minutes left even after Kota Ibushi come out. So I think after the second to last commercial, we come back and we see like stereo superplexes, stereo like high spots, ending with Pac. Yo, this spot was just insane. Pac is basically holding on to like a truss that's between the two cages, and he's swinging back and forth. All the while, you're seeing like the suplexes, the different spots from each of the corners on the 2 different rings. He's just swinging back and forth, or he's climbing, and then he starts swinging back and forth. All the while, Nick Jackson is laying on a table between the 2 rings. So he eventually swings back and forth, and then comes down, double foot stomp on Nick Jackson through a table between the 2 rings. This was one of the craziest spots I think I've seen in one of these blood and guts matches that had nothing to do with blood. So that is a change a bit. You had at one point Blackpool Combat Club looked like they were going to get the win. They had 5 submissions on at one point. Kota Ibushi is able to break free from Konosuke Takeshita and comes in and breaks up all the submission, being the savior for the Golden Elite. Eventually, Pac and Claudio Castagnoli are not on the same page once again as they run into one another. Pac gets in his face. You got Blackpool Combat Club sort of siding with Claudio, pushing Pac aside. So Pac decides, he's like, deuces, I'm out. He's like, fuck all of y'all. He flips off everybody on his team. He was like, y'all not my squad. Flips off Claudio, gets some bolt cutters, and gets out of the cage and leaves them. At this point, Kenny Omega starts running wild. He has V-triggers on all of the Blackpool Combat Club. The Young Bucks are back up. Hangman Adam Page is back up. At this point, Don Callis gets his ass up from commentary. Comes down to the ring and says, Takeshita, it's time to go. It's time to go. He's like, they got it. It's time for us to go. We gotta concede this one. Let them do this battle themselves. So it's like a 5-on-1 type offense. So now the numbers have switched. The whole story of the storyline has been Blackpool Combat Club have the numbers advantage, whether it was Hangman's injured and he's out, whether Kenny's out, whether the Young Bucks are out. They've always had the numbers advantage. And now finally at the last moment in the last battle, they are all alone. It is 3-on-5, and the Golden Elite just bombard them. They isolate Wheeler Yuta. They hit him with a with the last call, the former finisher of Omega and Hangman, the V trigger into the buckshot lariat. They then hit the golden trigger with Kota and Kenny. They eventually start hanging up Wheeler Yuta. They wrap the steel chain around his throat. They put him into the ropes, kind of similar to the same way that Hangman Adam Page defeated Jon Moxley back at Revolution. And they hang him up, choke him out. They have Jon Moxley handcuffed between the 2 rings, so he's not able to help him. Claudio Castagnoli's taken out in the other ring, and Jon Moxley has to watch his student get choked out, and he eventually saves his life and surrenders for the team Blackpool Combat Club to give the Golden Elite the win. This was epic. This was bloody. This was brutal. This told a great story, and it had the right winner. I enjoyed every moment of this. This lived up to the stipulation of blood and guts, and it ends the war and the rivalry of the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite. Plus, after the match, you got them shaking hands after the camera's cut. And you also get Kota Ibushi decide that he didn't get punctured enough, and he takes a back bump into thumbtacks just to add insult to injury, I guess. But there you go. That was Blood and Guts 3. Did it live up to the stipulation for you? What did you think about the match and everything that went down, Jimmy?
It did live up to the stipulation. I thought it was rather violent. Match was weird. Like tried to get a hold in this match. I couldn't quite do it. I thought it was perfectly laid out, especially when Moxley comes out. It felt like as significant as it should. Here comes the big bad, and he's bringing violence with him. It really worked for me. I felt like, let's say 10 minutes after Moxley comes out, that's when I started missing Dragon. I was like, this is missing something. I'm not sure what it is. It's Dragon.
Yes. Because it would have been so different if you do the same order pretty much. You have Claudio start, and then Wheeler second, then Moxley's third, then Dragon's fourth.
It's like, oh, this is over. Yes, this is over. It's such a weird match because I like everything that happened. I just don't like it altogether. Like, I like Pac leaving. I just don't like him leaving under the circumstances. Just we're here for revenge. And then we're doing this Claudio thing. I love Callis taking Takeshita with them. That was
perfect. The one that worked. That worked perfectly for the character, for everything. He was like, "Yeah, it's not working. Let's go. We're not taking this L. They are."
Right. There's no benefit to us being in this match anymore. It's 4-5. Let's just go. What the fuck we staying here for? And the door's been open. Great. Let's get the fuck out of here. It just worked particularly well. I don't know. I don't know what didn't click for me, but I saw it didn't click for a lot of people online. I was shocked by the response that it got. Rather mixed response.
Yeah.
I think I was shocked.
I will say, as someone that has watched him for nearly 2 decades, Kota Ibushi, it seems like Father Time has finally caught up to Kota Ibushi. He seems significantly slower than what he was, and this is only his 3rd match in 2 years. So I understand there's gonna be a certain amount of ring rust, but he just felt like he didn't have a lot of energy. Like, even when he's breaking up the submissions, he kind of did it in a like an Orange Cassidy kind of way, more than a Kota Ibushi way.
Well, he's 41 years old, and he's not a young 41. What else I'm gonna say? Those are not nails, by the way. The thing Moxley brought out, those are screw heads, the heads to screwdrivers. Which obviously the screwdrivers that used to fuck people up. I thought it was a cute callback. I was wondering why he was bleeding, but not having anything stuck in his back, because if those were nails, that's how it would work. Screwdrivers. Awesome. Props to everybody involved. That was way more violent than it would have been. Way more violent than I would have done if I was getting Moxley a fucking Kenny's paycheck. Fuck that. Why I do this makes no sense. So it worked for me. I hope this is the end of the feud. I hope we can move on to the Elite versus Don Callis and maybe Blackpool hunting down Pac.
That would be nice. I didn't think of that we got, because we already talked about it last week, how they've done a great job of basically spinning the plates of what these guys are going to do after the show, and we didn't even see coming that they were going to add another plate to that, which is now Pac versus BCC,
which could be a lot of fun.
And so my question to you is, now that it's been announced that Pac is going to be the replacement for Mark Briscoe at Death Before Dishonor tomorrow night in Trenton, New Jersey, I'm thinking, just going by what you're saying, and I'm interested in it. I'm buying what you're selling. Pac new Ring of Honor World Champion. That's what it sounds like it should be.
If this was WWE, he would definitely win the belt, at least back in my day. I think he should. I like it. Claudio feels weird as a world champion. That's not the leader of the group. That's not the second of the group, by the way. I'll just take it off him. Take it off and put it on Pac. The belt feels handmade for Pac. He can just wrestle and do shit and travel the world and do his thing. This would be fine. You can have Claudio chase him.
My one nitpick about the matchup is I felt like the ending
Matt Jackson
could have the ending could have been done better. If they had a microphone in there and like Moxley's calling the ref over to give him the microphone and say, "We surrender," so everybody understands that it's him surrendering because he's seeing his little trainee, his young boy, get the same thing that made him tap out. And he has basically taught him not to tap out because of all the teaching. Like I thought that was a great story beat to that ending, and I felt like it could have been done just a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like the microphone idea. It doesn't help. Listen, you couldn't wait for Dragon. That's a terrible idea. And we did that once before Jade, and it was a bad idea then, it'd be a worse idea now. But we can't pretend like Dragon is probably the most important person in this feud, right? He's the amateur, he's the screwdriver, he's that guy. So him missing is a big deal. But they still pulled off a really good match, a really violent match without him.
I thought it was great. One of the best Dynamite matches of the year. We got Chase in the chat with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chase. Appreciate the love, the support, always in the chat, showing your support for AEWramble. He says, for the amount of times the Around the Point crew said in the mud, because just like Wheeler Yuta in this match, we were in the mud. So I think they were taking bets on how many people would bleed in the matchup, and I think the Around the Point crew said 10. Said all 10 guys would bleed in the match.
Jesus. Way off. Jesus. What's wrong with y'all?
We got Steven who says Mox bringing several forks. Yes.
That was wild. Him handing out forks like he's handing out fucking masks at a hospital was hilarious.
Like here, so we're all prepared. That's a leader. That's a leader, folks. Frantic Girl says, I don't know why some people had a problem with Claudio starting the match with Kenny. People had a problem with that?
Really?
I like what commentary said too. Saying that this is him basically working on his cardio before his Ring of Honor World Title match. I was like, that's a Blackpool Combat Club answer to that question.
That's wild. I'm working on my cardio by getting stabbed in the face.
By getting stabbed.
Super violent match.
And I'm just saying, Nick is probably the best white man high flyer in the game today.
It's probably been that way for a while, which is amazing considering he has to carry 200 pounds on his back for the last 20 years. Go ahead, Nick.
Jesus. Roxy saying, thanks, Jimmy. You ruined Matt for me. Every time I see now, I can't help but hear all your criticisms of him, and I find myself comparing him to his brother.
Worthless Matt Jackson. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. He comes out second. And look at him do all that shit that Nick didn't bother doing because it's beneath him.
Jay saying Kota moving like WCW Hogan in this match. Laugh my fucking ass. That is wild. That is a wild statement. That is wild.
I don't want to laugh because you know the reason he moves like that is all the fucking punishment over the years. But
exactly.
Is he wrong though? Is the question.
We got a super chat donation from Annika. Thank you, Annika. Very rare we see you with that, and we appreciate the love. She says, I fully expect Moxley to hunt Pac and Takeshita down like the Terminator next week.
She said, very rare we get to see you with that. Wow. What the fuck's wrong with you? Just call her Darky, move on with it. No need to be rude.
What?
I love you, Annika. I don't know about him. You know he is.
You're outrageous. You're outrageous. You're just
definitely should hunt down Pac. I don't know about Takeshita.
I don't know if you want that smoke.
That probably leads into a Callis feud. Takeshita and Jericho and them.
They got too many players in that story anyway already. So, and Takeshita was just smart. That was just a smart play. He wasn't the catalyst. He wasn't the first domino to drop. So Pac needs to be hunted. We got Annika who says, why was Kota going so slow? We got Frantic World who says, this match was great and wild. Agreed. We got Ninja Mortis with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Ninja Mortis. We appreciate the love. Saying, let's not forget Mox and Pac teamed to face Kenny on the third show of Dynamite and walked out on Pac. Karma is a bastard. That is true. It was Jon Moxley and Pac versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. The first time Hangman and Kenny teamed up in tag team action in AEW.
That would have been nice to mention on the fucking broadcast.
I mean, they had a lot. They had a lot to get to be fair.
Yeah,
To be fair.
they were fucking. To be fair, there was some rough spots here because when you have the elite, you can't really focus on things that make sense. So when fucking Tony Schiavone goes, oh, Claudio definitely sees him coming, and then fucking Hangman hits the move anyway. It's just like, Tony, you would have been right in any other match, but the elite, you got to suspend disbelief. Everybody's blind, everybody's slow, everybody. Right, sure. Poor Tony. Yeah, that was a rough one. Sorry.
Okay, Black Cornet. We got Roxy says, I was expecting Lucha Bros to show up and have Pax back. Now they moved on. They got Commander now. Jimmy's other favorite, Commander.
What a downgrade. Holy shit. From Pac to Commander? I think his name is Commander. It's over.
Oh, there was a lot of that. Where was the freaking cameraman? There was a lot of that on the show where there was like missed spots.
Well, that's not the cameraman's job. That's
Mike
production.
Manzeri.
And yeah, Mike Manzeri or Tony Khan, whichever you prefer. Mike Manzeri stinks. He had a great first week. He's stunk ever since. It's like you fucking show up to the job interview to get your best suit, then you just suck afterwards.
Annika saying Kota was so slow. At least run to Kenny as Moxley is stomping your friend's hand and nails.
That shit was wild.
Yo,
that was kind of cool though.
Did the Jeff Hardy. He did the Jeff Hardy.
Yes. But that was kind of cool. I'm sorry. Him walking over there like, I'm gonna fuck you up when I get over there. It's just
wait till I get over there. I swear to God. We got it. Good question here for Steven Chambers. Jimmy, of all the blood and guts matches, which one is the best match for you?
Okay, so there's the Jericho one, and there's the Eddie one.
Yes. Even though Jericho was in both of those.
Yeah, but Jericho takes the spot in the first one, right?
Yeah, he takes the off the cage spot. This was rare that this one didn't have the off the cage spot. I immediately, when Wheeler Yuta got up the cage, I was like, oh, he's taking the off the cage spot this year.
That's my immediate thought. Somebody asked me who was going to take the bump this year. Oh, Wheeler, duh. I'd probably go with the first one. The spot is so awful at the end. Fuck.
Everything up until then was great.
Yeah, I'd probably go one, and then I don't like the finisher two either. I go one.
I love the finisher too.
No, he's got him that shitty neck crank, and then fucking Claudio gets the win. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that led to nothing.
It leads to what we got now.
That's wild. Fucking see that's beautiful the way they transition right to Claudio.
I actually the first one
a year later. Do you have this one first?
Maybe have to watch it again, but right now, yeah.
Of course you do. You didn't have to ask. I know it. It's like supreme prison of the moment.
It's close. It's close. I might have to watch this in the second one. It's between this and the second one.
I want to be as excited about the latest thing I just watched as you are about the latest thing you just watched all the time.
You are like that. Just when Marvel was good back in 2017, you were like that.
Yeah. They all kind of blend together. I mean, fuck it. Who cares? Who cares? All the same. The same fucking.
All right, Jimmy. Let's put our thumbs in the middle. Everyone in the chat, let us know what was your match of the night. Your MVP, your LVP. Out of 10, what did you give the show? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle for me and Jimmy for the July 19, 2023 Blood and Guts 3 edition of AEW Dynamite. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1.
Shit. I forgot about the 2.0 blood spot. Where he was hung like
cool
outside
hand.
the cage.
Yes, that's what made me like hesitate to answer that question because that had moments.
I forgot. Wait, Santana got hurt. Two's the best one. I
would probably say this one had a more, like you said, a better layout and the action was more compact, but just the moments and the finish of 2 is what makes it a debate. That's why I said 1, it would be last, because it's so close between 2 and 3 for me now.
2 was so violent. I'm going for 2. That was some graphic shit.
Remember, Moxley came out with the forks last year. He did that shit too. He did that shit there. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Jimmy?
Opener was great. Main event was great. Some fun MJF stuff. I'm gonna go with an 8.
I'm pretty close to a 9, but man, that woman stuff is egregious. So it might be an 8.5 due to that. 8.5 out of 10. Who was your MVP for the show, Jimmy?
It's close between MJF and Moxley. Shit. MJF's face at the end. MJF.
MVP for the show, I'm going to have to give it to MJF and Adam Cole. The bestest friends. Better than you, baby. This has just been gold. It's very rare you find something that just works on this type of level, where you had all that violence in the blood and guts matchup, and the loudest pop of the night by far was a double clothesline. Like that says it all. Till there's levels to this, and stuff is just working. So yeah, I would give it to MJF and Adam Cole. LVP, Jimmy.
Tony Khan. It's fucking egregious. It's fucking egregious. Come
on. LVP for the show, Kayla Sparks and Hook.
Wow.
Lost his winning streak. Annika saying they got to change the stipulation, let them win by submission or 1, 2, 3. I don't agree with that. I think War Games has always been submission or surrender. That's what I like about Blood and Guts. I think that all 3 years they've done it in a very unique way. They didn't stick the landing on the first one because the landing had a whole bunch of cardboard underneath it, but the last 2 years, you got Claudio getting the submission before Kingston is able to really get his revenge on Jericho. And then this year you got Moxley trying to save his child from the same type of pain and murder he went through. That's great usage of the surrender stipulation.
Yeah, surrender is just so visceral, making another person give up. It's wild. Yeah, it works.
Yeah. We got Victor Nash who says, what if Pac wasn't in the match, but instead it was Punk? Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. I saw that you were a hater. The very first short I've ever seen of yours was you hating. It's shocking.
Yeah, because you're so used to you being the hater. Because I'm on here with you. Really? I have to be more positive.
Hating on CM Punk. Like, really? Jesus.
I never hate on CM Punk. I'm just very honest.
Right. Fucking blasphemous. Too much changes in the match. I can't think about it. It's just so different. Punk can't walk out because then he's a heel, which he doesn't want to do for some reason. The fuck? Just turn heel, god damn it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun thought, but it's never gonna happen.
If I didn't say it before, my match of the night is obviously Blood and Guts 3. That's my match of the night. Blood and Guts 3. I said MVP. I said LVP. Did you say match of the night? I don't think you said match of the night. Obviously.
Main event. Yeah. Sure.
We're all in agreement there. A bunch of comments to highlight here. We got Benny who gives it an 8.5 out of 10. We got Chilling with Chase who says the Elite for MVP. We got Annika bringing up the second Blood and Guts, which had Eddie pushing Sammy off the cage, was great. We got Chilling with Chase who says Roderick for LVP, his friend already replacing him. That's tough.
You chasing a grown ass man while you're on a neck brace is an embarrassment.
We got Frantic World that says 8.5. We got Louis says match of the night, blood and guts matchup, 8 out of 10. Victor who says 8.5. Annika says 8. Ace says match of the night, the main event. We got Roxy who says MVP Callus getting Konosuke out of the cage.
So
Smartest
good.
man in the room. Smartest man
So
in the room.
good.
He was like, come on, let's go. Let's go.
It's
Let's go.
over.
Let's go.
Oh, it's such a fucking. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back for you, Kenny Omega.
It's like it reminds me of like a scandal. It reminds me of like a scandal in a school. And then the first parent comes and be like, "How we get you out of this school? Come on, get it."
That was wild.
Come on.
That was great.
We'll get you next time. Frantic Girl says MVP, MJF, Adam, and the Golden Elite. Roxy says LVP, quote unquote, women's match.
You probably should have did quote at the end of the H because women's is wild.
We got
match.
MCaster says, Hook, damn SP3, you out of the hooker game. No, I'm a part of the hooker game, but you got to be honest with your fellow hookers and realize when it's a bad night. And last night was a bad night.
It's not how cults work, sir. Yes, hooker gang is a fucking cult. A bunch of losers like this young, spry young man.
Why are you always insulting me?
All I said was you're in a cult. That's all.
You said I'm a part of a bunch of losers who's a fucking.
No, not you. You got a wife and kids. That's not a typical wrestling fan.
PSM casted Jimmy Macram. PSA. Jimmy, let the people know where they can follow you on social media. What you got going on your channel, everywhere else.
At Jimmy Macram on YouTube. We are 38 subscribers away from 50,000. Thanks to all fucking 3 of you from this channel who have subscribed. You bunch of selfish cocksuckers. So if you haven't, go on to do that now.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Probably should have asked for a subscription before. I was rude. It happens.
You had them like they on their phone, they scrolled down the thing, they put Jimmy Macram, they about to press the subscribe button, and then you said all of that, and they just looked at their phone and looked at you and was like,
I'm serious. I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
That face never gets old.
Never.
And then he did fucking nothing about it.
Never. Always pops me. I will always use it somehow, some way. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at True Heel SP3. Follow the gang. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at True Heel Heat. Also on TikTok at True Heel Heat, where you can see all of our shorts. Yes, you can see all our shorts over there. Why are you so mad? Why do you not like shorts?
I've tried to go to TikTok and it's just, this is all impossibly dumb. This is dumb for social media. Was dumb. See, holy shit. All of you 12? Turns out, yes, they're all 12.
Yeah, pretty much. They're all about 12. But yes, TikTok. You could also find True Heel Heat Sports over at TikTok. We're about, I want to say 40, less than 40 subscribers away from 500 subscribers over on True Heel Heat Sports. So we really love to hit that milestone. We're about, I think, 200 away from 8,000 here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. So loving the support, loving everything y'all doing for us. So help us hit those milestones. And of course, follow us on all of our social media platforms. You could also support us in the best way possible at patreon.com/True Heel Heat. Just $3 a month. You get more exclusive content. You got the True Heel Heat Prediction Championship, plus much, much more. Or you can hit the join button and become a part of the True Hill Heat membership program here on the channel as well. And check out all the great content we got on the channel right now. You had Elite Heat last night. You had NX3 the night before. Tonight we'll have a special preview over on twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Gaming. You can follow us over there as well, where we'll be previewing Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, following Blunt Impact. So join us at 8 p.m. Eastern time, where you'll get a couple of hours of content over on Twitch. And then join us back here tomorrow live at 12:05 p.m. Eastern time. It is our Dark Side of the Ring episode, season 4, episode 7, Abdullah the Butcher, Legacy of Blood review. Myself.
Why did he
Chrissy
pick that
Love.
thumbnail? Why is that the thumbnail? This should be fucking censored. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, look at them titties. The fuck are we even doing? Just a pair of random titties. Wet titties on the fucking. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why? Look at that. That is wild. If you were an algorithm, would you not blur this out?
Put his face. Put Abdullah's face on the nipples. On the nipples. Look like
Not fat shaming Abdullah the Butcher. I'm just saying. What the fuck? Oy. Bastard.
Did we ruin this for you? It's okay, Jimmy. We will all see you next week, Jimmy. For Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 103, Blood, Guts, and Love. We are signing off until next time.
His body is so old, but he looks so young. He looks 12.
Just